Hello students, today we are here with the story Philemon and Baucis. The story of how this came about is a proof of the immeasurable power of the gods and also of the way they reward the humble and the pious. Long ago, on a high hill in Greece lived a very kind couple, Philemon and Baucis. They were very poor, yet very helpful. They had many hives of bees from which they got honey, and many vines from which they gathered grapes. One old cow gave them milk, and they had a little field in which they grew. The old couple was always ready to share whatever they had with everyone. No stranger was ever turned away from their door. Below the hill was a beautiful village. It had good roads and rich pastures all around, but it was full of wicked and selfish people. One evening, two strangers came into the valley. They stopped at every house and asked for food and place to sleep. But the selfish villagers did not help them. Instead, they turned them out and set their dogs after them. The strangers were very weary and hungry. Finally, they came to the hut of Philemon and Baucis. These kind people had eaten very little, for they were saving their best food for the next day. Philemon saw the strangers and said, "Baucis, these men need food. They are tired and hungry." "Yes, they do," said Baucis, and she ran quickly to arrange supper for them. Philemon ran towards them and said, "Please come in. You have walked a long way. I can see dust and exhaustion on your faces. I shall help you wash your hands and faces." In the meantime, Baucis spread her best white cloth upon the table and lay on it honey, grapes, bread, and milk. She put the best dishes she had and lit candles to give a festive look. Then she called the strangers to the table. The dishes the strangers touched turned into gold. The pitcher was never empty, although they drank glass after glass of milk. The loaf of bread stayed always the same size, although the strangers cut slice after slice. "These are very strange travelers," whispered the old couple to each other. "They do wonderful things." Philemon and Baucis saw that their feet were sore after walking barefoot. Baucis warmed the water and Philemon washed their feet. At night, Philemon and Baucis gave the strangers their bed. Philemon said, "These poor people are tired. We must give them our bed." "Yes," said Baucis. Philemon and Baucis slept upon the floor. In the morning, they went out to bid the travelers goodbye. They walked to the road with the strangers to see them off. "Now, good people," said one of the strangers, "we thank you, and whatever you wish shall be yours." "Go to your home and be happy," said the other. As he said this, his face became like that of the sun. Philemon and Baucis knew at once that Zeus, the sun god, had spoken to them. Philemon and Baucis walked home, and they could not believe what they saw. Their hut was changed into a beautiful castle. They knew only gods could do such a miracle. After that day, the milk in the pitcher never finished, nor did the food on their table. Evaristo, a great thank you to all of you for being there. See you. Bye-bye.